senator.
The senator's on his way as well.
Oh, good. Well, I'm going to tell him we've been waiting for the last 30 minutes for him.
Sounds like something you would say.
Yeah, Memo and the judge and all of us were waiting for the senator. Just kidding.
Very good. Well, good afternoon, and thank you to everyone of you who've joined us today to highlight the Corazon Solar Project, which is a large economic development and clean energy facility located in Webb County, Texas. Before we begin with today's agenda, I would like to ask each of you to turn off your cameras and microphones unless you are on the agenda. We will also be recording today's event and wanted to make you aware of that fact. I'd like to take a moment now to recognize some of our distinguished guests, including U.S. Senator John Cornyn, who will be joining us shortly, Congressman Henry Cuellar, Webb County Judge Tano Tijerina, the Managing Director of the North American Development Bank, my boss, Calixto Mateos, the Deputy Managing Director of the bank, John Beckham, BayWa Solar CEO Jam Atari, and Memo Benavides and his family, who are the landowners where the solar facility is located. Now let's begin with the formal program. I would like to invite Jam Atari, the CEO of BayWa Solar, to provide some comments on the Corazon Solar project. Jam, take it away.
Jesse, thanks for pulling this together. What a tremendous occasion and opportunity to commemorate this project. You know, first, I really want to thank all the members around the table, obviously North American Development Bank, Congressman Cuellar, Senator Cornyn, the Benavides family, and broadly the Webb County public servants that have been critical to the movement forward on this project, both in the planning and construction phase. And we're really looking forward to delivering this project mid-year at some point. You know, Corazon itself is a testament to the, how do we overcome challenges of the market, of the broader pandemic. This project was started on site in the second quarter last year in the midst of this growing pandemic, and the dedication and the commitment of all the folks that I mentioned, including all the workers on site, have really got us to the point where we can see the end of the project in sight and really looking forward to delivering this plant. It's been an incredible accomplishment, given the pandemic, to bring forward North American Development Bank and your partners on this project, all the construction resources, like I said, that have been necessary to build this project, to manage it safely and efficiently, and to, again, contemplate delivering the project at the end of June. A couple of key facts on the project. As everybody knows, this project sits about 20 miles outside the city of Laredo in Webb County. It covers about 2,000 acres of the Benavides family ranch. Expected delivery again on June 30th. And it has a tremendous amount of benefits to broader Webb County. During the course of this project, the plant is expected to deliver tax benefits to the county of about $7 million, to the schools about another $25 million. So it really has a deep financial impact and support of the surrounding resources. And if I can, I want to take just a couple seconds to identify one of the great stories of this project. Obviously, food service workers have been affected as much as anybody during this pandemic, and we took the opportunity after a good meal at a restaurant in Laredo to bring that family, the Lisa family from Las Quecas, to the project site, and they're on the project site every day, feeding over 1,000 workers breakfast and lunch, and it is a great story. I've been only partially through the menu. Recommend the cheesecake. Looking forward to the choco flan next time I come down there. But again, another really nice story about what the broader impact of this project during this time is. As I mentioned, this is part of the broader renewables transition, but more important than that, it's really the foundation of jobs growth. We brought over 1,200 skilled workers to the craft and skilled workers to the site through a partnership with Worley, which is a Houston-based company whose foundation has been in oil and gas, and we've brought those workers who've been transitioning from that downturn onto the renewable site. So it's really been a driver of local jobs growth. And obviously, these folks, not only in the wages that they're earning on site, but the money that they're spending in Laredo and surrounding towns has been, part of the sort of economic boon of the project. So, obviously, this project is going to live and breathe over the long term. We'll continue to maintain resources there to support the operation and maintenance over the 35-year life of the project, and really look forward to continuing that establishment and connection with the Webb County and folks around this call, and certainly looking forward to my visit back to Las Quecas. So, Texas itself has really been the foundation of this broader energy transition, and certainly, more importantly, of energy independence. And certainly renewables is a big part of that mix. And while I don't necessarily, I think folks understand the value that renewables bring, I really want to highlight that it is the leading area of growth in the energy sector, and it really brings continued resilience and reliability on the energy grid. We've certainly all been affected by inefficiencies in grid management and transition issues. Certainly Texas has recently, and adding renewables to mix continues that broader array of energy sources that we think is important to continue to secure American energy independence going forward. So in closing, really excited to be a part of the team and a part of the Texas community. You guys have welcomed us with open arms, and looking forward to our continued involvement over the next 3 decades in South Texas.
Thank you very much, Jam. Senator Cornyn, we appreciate you joining us today, and Congressman Cuellar had a joke for you, but I'll let him share that with you in a second. We have a brief video to share on the progress of the project, and so if we could please play the video so that everybody can see the magnitude and the scope of the project. Very impressive, as you can tell. Very large solar facility, very big investment into South Texas that we're very excited about. And next, I would like to ask Judge Tano Tijerina to say a few words about the county's involvement. Lisa, we can stop sharing screen, please.
Jesse, thank you so much for putting this on together. Appreciate it. First, I got to do my homework, I should say, I guess. Or I want to say hello to Congressman Cuellar and, of course, our great Senator Cornyn. He's always a champion for us here in South Texas, as much as our Congressman Cuellar is too. And Jesse, thank you for this, for this opportunity. Obviously, we're very excited with this Corazon project, the solar project. It's one of its kind. It was a resilient project, to be quite honest with you, especially through the pandemic. There was a lot of things that just died out, and everybody just didn't, seem to cease to exist or cease to move. And yet, this particular project, has still kept pushing and putting through it. So it's a resilient project. Congratulations to the Benavides family as well. Being able to facilitate and granting a tax abatement will boost, obviously, the economic development of the county in itself as a whole. One of the things that I see, and there's a lot of people that see it in different ways. Some people say, well, tax abatements, whether you give them you give them too much, or you don't do it at all, or you give too many. Everybody has their way of thinking. My personal opinion is this was an empty ranch land, other than cattle grazing and whatnot, maybe from deer. But let's face it, now with this solar project, especially the vast amount of solar project that it is, this is an economical boost that's going to be able to create jobs and generate money for revenues for the county. This is something that, yes, we gave up a little bit, but we're going to get in the long run as well. It's not going to be just an empty ranch land anymore. So look forward to seeing all of you guys again, you know, here in the future, especially with the ribbon cutting. And so we're here to serve. This is on behalf of Webb County and myself. We're very proud to be a part of this project, and God bless you guys. And this is what we continue doing. Yes, it's green energy, but we have different alternatives. We are known for our oil and gas down here, but let's face it, we have to, you know, get with the sign of the times to a certain point. Never lose our true resource, which is oil and gas, but yet green energy at this point in time. This is something that we have to look at, to look into, and this is exactly what we've done. And so congratulations to all the parties. I'm very proud to be a part of it. And pretty much that's it. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you for joining us today. Next, I'd like to invite Calixto Mateos, my boss and the Managing Director of the North American Development Bank, to discuss the role of the bank in this project. Calixto?
Thank you for joining us today to learn more about the role of NatBank in the Corazon Solar project located in Webb County, Texas. Before I discuss the bank's involvement, I would like to personally thank Senator John Cornyn and Congressman Henry Cuellar, who have been champions of not only the bank, but of much-needed border infrastructure to help improve the lives of their constituents and of the overall U.S.-Mexico relationship. It is truly my pleasure to be joined by both of you. Let me recognize Webb County Judge Tano Tijerina for his participation in today's program and the county's assistance related to the project. Thank you to Jam Atari and his team at BayWa Solar for their hard work to get this project to construction and confiding in the bank to provide financing. It is our hope the Corazon will be operational this summer, but hearing the anecdote of how it has involved Las Quecas, we now know it is already a success for the community. I would also be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank my team at NatBank, including Carlos Carranza and Esaúl Ramirez, who both work on the bank's financing of this project. Now, it is my pleasure to discuss the bank's involvement in Corazon Solar facility. NatBank supported this project with a loan of $62.9 million. Not only did the bank provide a loan, but also acted as the lead arranger with 3 private banks to complete the financing necessary for this important South Texas clean energy project. Also important to note that the Corazon Solar project will help contribute to what is projected to be the fastest growing form of power generation in Texas over the next 3 years, while also fighting climate change. In addition, projects like these are a prime example of why development banks were created, which is to leverage our capital with private sector capital and help reduce risks for the private sector lenders. The bank has a stellar track record on financing green infrastructure projects to ensure that we are improving the lives of the U.S.-Mexico border residents. To date, NatBank has financed more than 275 green projects, leveraged more than $10 billion, and improved the lives of more than 18.5 million border residents. It is my pleasure to represent the bank and celebrate today's signing with you virtually. Thanks.
I think it was important to highlight the fact that the bank provided a $62.9 million loan, and appreciate that Calixto also highlighted the fact that the bank acted as a lead arranger to ensure the financing for the needed financing to get this project to construction. So a very important role that the bank played today. Before I ask Senator Cornyn to say a few words, I would like to highlight that bipartisanship is not a new concept to him or to our other keynote speaker, which is Congressman Henry Cuellar. Senator Cornyn ranked first among members of Congress in the number of bills sponsored that were enacted into law in the last Congress. And one of those bills that became law actually involved the North American Development Bank, and Congressman Webb carried it on the House side. But I'll let them speak about that. Now it is my great honor to introduce our Texas Senator, John Cornyn. Senator.
Well, thanks, Jesse, and it's a pleasure to join you and my friend Judge Tijerina and the folks from NatBank and BayWa RE to announce this exciting project in South Texas. As we all know, for more than 2 decades, NatBank has made critical investments in our border communities that helped improve the air and water quality, update infrastructure, and increase cross-border trade that helps both Mexico and the United States. Despite the challenges of this last year during the pandemic, the bank's dedication to this mission has never wavered, and I couldn't be more happy about the new solar farm that will be built in Webb County. Now, as some of you have alluded, folks outside of Texas think we're just an oil and gas state, but we are a all of the above state. I'm a strong supporter of that all of the above strategy, of which this solar farm will play an important role, one that relies on traditional fossil fuels as well as renewables, and of course, one that champions innovative technologies to reduce emissions and carbon capture. Our state produces the most wind power of any state in the country, about 17% of our electricity generation. But there's room to increase output from other renewable energy sources, especially solar. We've got plenty of sun, and this project will help us do just that in a big way. Within a year, the power generated through this solar farm will equal the annual consumption of more than 38,000 households. That kind of increase in output will help reduce emissions and bolster our state's energy independence. And of course, this translates into some serious economic benefits, as Judge Tiarina said. In Webb County and surrounding communities, the construction of this development will create hundreds of jobs. And once it's up and running, the sale of electricity and renewable energy credits will bring in more revenue. NADBank developed and financed 35 energy projects so far, including 20 solar projects, and I expect us to see more exciting investments in the years to come. I've always been a strong supporter of NADBank and fought to include this increased funding and spending authority for the bank in the USMCA. That funding was intended to support projects just like this, as well as future projects to improve water quality and flood protection on our southern border. I want to thank our friends at NADBank for their dedication to improving the lives of our border communities. And I want to thank the public and private partners who've worked so hard to make it possible. It's exciting to see the positive impact of this investment in coming years, both on our energy sector and in our South Texas economy. With that, let me turn it over to my friend and partner in the House of Representatives, Congressman Henry Cuellar, who I've been proud to work with over the years to secure funding for projects just like these in our border communities. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Senator. Congressman?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Senator, and it's a pleasure. I was in Wilson County. I was with the San Antonio Food Bank, and they were telling me how you volunteered, I think, last week at the food bank. And I have to say, for a U.S. Senator to work on big projects like today, to all the way down to rolling up his sleeves to provide food for the less needy is very admirable. And I want to say thank you for doing that. Who's just rolling up their sleeves and getting the job done at a food bank. So thank you so much, Senator, and I consider you a very good friend, and I really appreciate your accomplishments in the Senate and how we work together. Also want to thank not only Jesse, but Calixto at the NADBank. I'll say a few words about the NADBank, but they have been very, very effective on both sides of the border for improving the quality of life and improving the economic development. So I want to thank Calixto and, of course, Jesse and the whole team at NADBank. To my good friend, Dano Tejerina, Judge, you've been a leader in Webb County. You have done so many projects, and this should come down as one of the biggest projects that you have done there in Webb County, because working with our friends like Memo Benavides, the landowner, a friend of mine, Memo and I have known each other from the soil and wild conservation folks in Texas at the federal level. I want to thank you, Memo, and Judge Tejerina for your leadership here. For Jan Batari, I don't know you, but we look forward to working with you, because as the Senator said, the key to this type of project is the public-private partnership. And this is something that the Senator and I have been working on for many years on developing the public-private partnerships that are so important. So to all the team players, congratulations. Let me just say a few things just real quickly. yes, it's going to be economic development. Yes, it's going to be jobs. Yes, it's going to be less emissions. And I always say fossil fuel. We're number one, as the senator said, in the country. We're also number one in wind. But the enemy is not fossil fuel; is really the emissions. It's the emissions that the enemy. And certainly, when you talk about solar, you're going to get no emissions, and this is something that will be good because we all want to have clean water, clean air, a clean environment, and this is why, Mr. Attari, and to all the partners here, congratulations on doing this, providing energy in a safe way, clean job, economic development, and doing it on the border, because we want to see economic development on the border. So thank you so much. I would say you're not going to run out of sun in Webb County. Anybody familiar with Webb County, you are going to find enough sun almost every single day of the 365 days. So, Mr. Attari, thank you. Finally, let me say something. This is very important. The senator, the leader in the Senate, myself, I did my small work in the House. Not only did we pass the new NAFTA, the USMCA, but in there, we found the vehicle to carry the recapitalization, reauthorization, if I can say that, of Nat Bank. Not only did we capitalize it, but we also put some language to make it more efficient, more effective, faster. And they always have done that, but we've provided some of the tools so they can move faster. And here's one of the projects that's moving pretty quickly. So, for all the millions of dollars on the loans that the Nat Bank provided, thank you so much. And thank you for improving our lives. And Senator, it's a pleasure. I was in San Antonio, Wilson County. I'm heading to the Free Republic of McMullen County. So I'll make sure I say hello to Judge Neal and the county commissioners for you. Hey, I'm not kidding. They are the Free Republic of McMullen County. They got the sign. But with that, thank you so much. I appreciate it being with y'all.
Hey, Henry, I was expecting to hear little Willie Nelson on the road again in the background.
My back feels it. It feels. Hey, Senator, we've got one of your colleagues coming in on Friday. John Hickenlooper will be with us in Laredo. So he'll be down here just, as you know, Joe Manchin was here, and you and I have really done the only bipartisan work at the border. Democrats go their way, Republicans go their way, but on the immigration issue, I want to thank you because you and I, your leadership has provided a bipartisan view of what we're facing, the humanitarian crisis we're facing at the border. So thank you again, Senator.
Well, thanks for showing Senator Hickenlooper around. It's really important we make our support for the border bipartisan, and that's harder to do these days than it used to be. But thanks for showing them around so they can learn what you and I have learned about the challenges and the opportunities that present. So I'm really glad to hear that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Senator and Congressman Cuellar, for your continued efforts to support the bank while improving the quality of life for residents on the U.S.-Mexico border. We greatly appreciate your efforts. I'd like to now transition to the ceremonial signing portion of today's agenda. So if we could get Calixto and Jam to please sign the document. Thank you both. Would you please share the signed document so that everybody there we go. Thank you very much. It's a done deal. With that concludes the formal agenda for today's presentation. I would like to open up the media availability for any reporters who joined us today and would like to ask questions of any of our guests on the agenda.
Hi, this is Julia Wallace, the Laredo Morning Times. Can y'all hear me?
How are you?
Okay, great. Yes, hi. I was just wondering, I guess Mr. Attari or whoever could answer this. I was curious how many of the like 1,000 or so employees who are working on the construction of this project if we know how many are in fact from Webb County, and I also would like to know how long the construction period is.
So the site construction commenced in the second quarter of last year. We started mobilizing in the May timeframe, and the actual physical construction will continue through the end of June. We'll have obviously some site cleanup, but the site will be in operation planned in July. Today, the count is 1,248 workers, and they're from a variety of South Texas counties. I was grabbing some stats earlier. I think the furthest away some of these workers are is about 3 hours, but there's I think roughly half the workforce is coming from Webb County. We can follow up and try to provide more specific numbers, but certainly a large majority of the on-site workers are coming from a commuting distance from the site.
Great, thank you so much.
Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Well, thank you very much for joining us again. Very exciting news, $62.9 million loan from the NAD Bank for this facility, $216.1 million solar facility going into Webb County, my home county. So very, very exciting news today. And again, thank you to Senator Cornyn, Congressman Cuellar, Jam, Atari, Calixto, the Benavides family for joining us. Judge Tijerina, again, very, very exciting news. And thank you all for joining us to share the news about today's project.
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Senator. Thanks, Congress.
Thank you.
Have a good day.